Make sure that jerky's closed and it's been kept fresh.
Looks like it's got pressure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because that jerky should last a couple of years, you know, if you're good to it.
A couple years.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Bait Buffet. Today we have a special guest on the platform, James LaRock, my brother.
Hey, guys. Good afternoon.
Get up super close to it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to be here on the Bait Buffet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great day. Beautiful day in St. Louis. Nice to be here. Really grateful and excited.
Yeah, it's a nice hot day out. We're just chilling here, enjoying a couple fresh lemonades with crinkly ice cubes banging around in the glass very loudly.
Right, little basil leaves.
Yeah, somehow the acoustics of the glass just like amplify the sound to an unbelievable degree.
Right.
But it's fresh.
Mm-hmm. Right, fresh from the garden.
Yeah, freshly squeezed lemonade, and we got grapes too.
Right. We always got grapes.
We're never short on the grapes. Make sure you get right up on it. You got to scoot your chair in like this. Like, see how I'm doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really got to get up on it. Sorry, the arms aren't long enough.
No, it's okay. It's great.
I'm looking to extend.
You guys can't see it, but it's actually really, really good setup. Really good hardware. Everything's really cool here. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're doing it all the way, 100%.
Right. We don't know any other way.
Yeah. We don't know how to do it badly, guys, around here. Now, the first few episodes were like, they sound like they're recorded in a dark cave.
Yeah.
Like,
but you got to start somewhere.
With like a slow drip in the background.
Yeah. Right. When Alexander Graham Bell invented the first telephone, he was trying to invent a device that would assist with his wife's deafness, and he invented the first analog telephone.
Nice.
Alexander Graham Bell. He's a genius.
Hope he got paid well for that.
Yeah, it was pretty really successful invention, and he became super rich. I think he was pretty wealthy before that as well.
He probably built his wife and family like a custom house. That's what everyone did back in the day.
Right.
They'd like
plantation
hire contractors and like make a whole dang house.
Right. Get a couple acres of land.
And then like his wife probably like died of like pneumonia, typhus, like a week later or something.
Yeah, I don't know what she died of.
Yeah, everyone always dies in the past. If you ever read history, it's like, his first wife, she died when she was 32.
Yeah,
from fucking gout or whatever.
I'm glad that people still die at early ages, but not, and it's it isn't large of numbers because of those diseases that we found vaccinations for and stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah, things are so much better now than they used to be. Like life was so much more like. Yeah, just kind of like on a hairpin, like your likelihood of survival is so like low, and especially the further back you go. But even just recently, like it was very common to like just contract a disease, and then the next day, they're doing your funeral or whatever. Like or maybe those were just all murders, and they just the laws were lax back then, and it could be a whole conspiracy. But I'm pretty sure we're living in the best time in recorded human history.
I have a good feeling that we are as well, especially with like the way that like technology polarizes society, it's really good and bad, but definitely, medical technology in the last, say, 200 years has definitely progressed the, I guess you'd say the quality of life for humans globally in a positive direction. So that's undisputed, but yeah.
Do you see like on the floating airship, they have like this like medical bay, state of the art, cutting edge technology.
Yeah,
it's literally straight out of Alien or like Prometheus. Yeah. Literally, it looked exactly like it. Like he just downloaded like that 3D file.
Yeah, literally
for the presentation of that model.
Yeah, like the artists who worked on that movie to like create like that sci-fi like med bay. They're like, just give us like the schematic, just give us the file for that because we're just gonna upload it into our design.
I wonder if like the set that they built for that still exists. Like if some collector bought it and he's got like a full like med bay.
Yeah.
Like
that's a good question.
Like where is that?
I'm sure.
Do they
what
junk
happens
it?
to sets when they are done with the movie? They sell them.
They either junk it or they keep it for later or they sell it.
Yeah, so it's one of the three. It might be sitting in a big garage somewhere. It might be in somebody's collection.
If I was like a millionaire, I would buy it at auction and I would like display it to my guests when they came over because it probably works. It's got like buttons and lights and stuff. And I'd be like, like if you ever need any help, come on over. Like gunshots, decapitations. If you get them early enough, they can be reattached.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
and just see if I can get people to like buy it. Because it looks really legit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They probably fall for it.
And you get somebody, for sure. You get somebody in there who's kind of like, like I need something cutting edge. I need something that's like nobody's ever seen before.
Yeah.
And like just make sure they haven't seen the movie Prometheus.
Right. Yeah. If they've seen that movie, it's over.
I feel like that movie was good on some levels, but others it was just weird. Like the scene where the ship falls from the sky and the two women are running, and like she could easily like get out of the way, roll either way.
Well, the thing is like they're in fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
They're not maybe thinking as clearly as they should. Also, they're like looking ahead of themselves. They're not really like looking back to check like which direction the thing is falling. Right?
Yeah. Right.
So like. That is what she should have done, but maybe I have to see the movie again. They probably did glance back a few times.
They did. They were like every 2 seconds.
I just don't know if they could, in that type of situation, how difficult would it be to actually gauge like the velocity and like the approach
really,
of like
really
one
difficult.
of those things, like to where you can make the decision like, oh, I need to run this way.
Those types of
as far away as possible.
Yeah, right.
Because like running the side of the direction is like a big decision, like in a scary situation, because most people just bolt straight.
Yeah,
but like to make the strategic move.
Yeah, right.
Would require a lot of like I don't know.
Yeah, a little adrenaline,
foresight. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Shaw went to the right and she survived, and I forgot.
Not for long.
Yeah, yeah, not for long.
You see Alien Covenant?
I did. Yeah.
Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair.
Like David's literally like he's an idiot. Like he has daddy issues, dude.
He is his father's son.
I don't know if you know me, but I'm Peter Waylon.
I got a picture of Waylon right there on the wall. Look, up there on the corner
I
of
see
the
him,
shelf.
dude.
Yeah, there he is.
If anybody doesn't know, Peter Waylon is the fictitious CEO of Waylon Corporation in the Alien Universe franchise. And
that's literally going to be Elon Musk in 40 years.
Yeah, literally.
And if you'll indulge me, I'd like to change the world.
Literally, Guy Pearce does a great job, dude. That's why I watch those movies, because I only watch it for Guy Pearce.
Dude, he had more scenes, too. Did you see the deleted scene when he's young?
Oh, I watched all the deleted scenes.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
That's classic. He's like, he's trying to like escape death in the movie.
That's awesome, dude.
And he goes into cryo freeze, and when the Prometheus departs for this planet, and then they get him out of cryo sleep, and he's all frail, and he goes up to this engineer. That's what they call the aliens in this movie that created life, and he's like trying to talk to him, and the engineer's like, "Why'd you even come here? Like, obviously, like the vibe's bad. Like, I'm gonna kill you guys." And yeah, spoiler.
He had to try.
Yeah, he had to try to get.
He's not just gonna die. Like, maybe he should have done a little bit earlier when he was a little bit younger.
It was reminiscent of Blade Runner's.
I want more life, Father.
Yeah.
The candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Like, that's not going to prevent Roy Batty from crushing your head in. So
he had to try.
Yeah. You had to try to get life.
You always gotta. You can't. Waylon's not the type to just throw in the towel.
No, he's really not.
He's really committed to his goals. He knew it was probably a crapshoot.
Yeah, I mean, he that was like his last ditch effort. Yeah. He was like 120 something, like being crazy.
If you're watching this, that means I'm dead.
Yeah. Classic.
I don't know, he got Scottish there for a second, but no, like Waylon should have his own whole movie.
I know, dude.
It'd be
like the
so
story
good.
of his life.
Yeah,
I've read the fan wiki of the Alien Universe, and his whole life story is amazing. He grew up he basically was born like around this time in the 2020s. Yeah, and he grew up, and by the time he was 12 or 13, he filed his first patent.
400 IQ.
Yeah, it was for a biological synthetic trachea.
Oh, cool. That's pretty necessary.
Used to breathe. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it was a precursor to him creating these.
Wait, how old was he?
13 or so.
Only 13?
Yeah, and he filed his first patent.
That's young.
He was knighted in England, where he grew up in the fictitious, Alien Universe.
Nice.
At 23, because he created the first climate controller or atmospheric processor, which actually was able to terraform any planet, and it solved climate change on the Earth in the Alien Universe.
So he basically is like the father of like modern day space travel.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I thought he was just some like rich like CEO.
No, he created all the bedrock technologies of that universe. You gotta give
this guy some credit.
He created the drives for the ships in the Alien Universe.
Oh man.
He created the stasis chambers. He created the med bay.
He didn't have anyone else helping him. Is this kind of like how Steve Jobs, created the iPhone?
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever wondered what that pocket's for down here? He's literally a brilliant businessman. Like, he's literally Nike 407s up on the stage, a pair of blue jeans, the classic black turtleneck, dude. Literally, he's doing like the pilot for the first ever iPhone, and he's like, you ever wonder what that small pocket for is on your jeans? He's like, it's for this.
No, it's not. No one uses that.
But yeah, right. Literally, no, it's not.
I never use that pocket for anything.
He's an idiot, dude. Yeah.
The phones got bigger too. They used to be smaller.
Yeah, I don't know how big the most current iPhone is, but it's probably in excess of 12 inches.
Pretty thick, yeah.
Long and 4 inches in diameter.
That's why I don't use a case, because it's already too thick.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pull a brick out of my pocket every time I use it.
I feel like I am sometimes.
And so sometimes I just feel like, if I could just download this information in my brain, like Waylon, if Waylon was around, he'd come up with some new tech.
Well, actually, Elon Musk is working on a new device he's been working on it in the past couple of years, and it's part of a company called Neuralink.
Yeah.
And they're
link us up.
Yeah, they're manufacturing what's called or they're trying to create, and they're currently working on active research and technological development for a device called the BMI, which stands for a brain-to-machine interface, which is essentially a device that decreases the bandwidth between...
It's not body mass index?
No. Yeah, right. But essentially, like, a BMI is exactly what you're talking about.
I got to workshop that name.
Yeah.
I want to introduce this to the public.
Yeah.
Fucking Zuckerberg with his free headset that he's giving away.
What, the Oculus?
Take it!
Yeah, he really wants people to... It's like the halos in Minority Report that they put on people's heads. Don't put that halo on me.
People are like walking by like Times Square. He's like got like a truck, and he's like at the top of the truck, like throwing boxes down to people, and like most of them are missing, like like just crashing on the ground, like exploding.
There's like one in a sewer, like in a cardboard box. There's like garbage.
Yeah, like the box is all moist. And
they're really like pushing this meta like tech on everything. They're really trying to like get people in the metaverse.
They're selling it for $399 USD, as in nearly $400.
Oh, okay.
But that's not nearly
like $3.99.
No, that's the next step, because like the cost to produce it is more than it costs to sell it. So they're producing the whole thing at a loss. It's like the Costco chicken.
Are you serious?
Literally.
So, how much does it cost to manufacture one of these units?
Dude, only Zuck knows the exact numbers.
It's in excess of $17,000, but we're going to bring the price point down.
It's a real bait and switch with the consumer, because like you want to offer this like really high tech stuff at an affordable rate.
Right.
But it's still not even cheap enough for me to be like, yeah, I'll buy that.
Right.
And I have like a lot of money.
Down. Right. You're at somebody. You're like one in the top, probably 1 or 10% of most Americans.
I've been so close to buying it every time I go to Costco.
Oh, it's literally on Costco.
It's at
shelf?
Costco, right?
What's it called? The Oculus something?
Oculus
or the Meta 2?
I think it's the Quest.
The Oculus Quest 2.
It's I haven't used it, but it's basically artificial reality.
Yeah.
In its own self-contained setup, so you don't need like a PC to like access these things.
Do you do like the sensors mounted on the wall?
No, it doesn't need that either.
Oh, that's even more like
the tech's really getting advanced.
Edge.
Yeah.
So it must have
integrated.
integrated.
Is like way out of date now. It's just in a drawer. I'm never gonna use it again.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to sell it on eBay before it becomes completely valueless.
This reminds me of a program that Microsoft had for a while called the Microsoft HoloLens program.
Do you remember the Xbox Kinect?
Yeah, I do.
Shit.
It uses a 3D point cloud to create, like it was a precursor to VR. It was like really primitive VR.
You plug that thing in once, use it for one game, and forget about it.
I remember nobody used it.
A precursor to getting dust all over it.
Yeah, it would just sit and just like
And they always try to do like the Surrey thing too. It's like Xbox Play
that never
Call
worked.
of Duty.
It was Cortana.
Remember Cortana.
Yeah, it was like the assistant.
It doesn't work.
And remember they uninstalled it because like it literally didn't work.
Oh, that
it was
sucks. I didn't know that. It was that bad?
Yeah, dude.
It always worked for me.
It never helped a single person. They're just like getting on the AI like bandwagon.
Order me a Casey Cheeto Dorito Dordito.
Yeah.
Ding dong. There it is.
He hired a hitman by accident to kill him.
Cortana.
Boom, boom. So like 47.
The job's done, Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Hitman, man.
Oh, dude, we could do a whole episode just on Hitman.
We really could, yeah.
Like the physics of how their body falls, like after you blow the back of their skull off. Like.
I wish that like game would integrate like some dynamic, like when you shoot somebody's head, like it would actually like come apart. Or something, you know, instead of just like absorbing a bullet. Or
I know there was one game like Red Faction, I think that did like a similar thing to
that
like
was for buildings and
structures.
They should. What if a game?
I've never seen that replicated.
I know.
In recent games.
I think something like that's really computationally intensive.
Yeah.
Because like when the structure breaks apart, it's really dynamic and it all requires processing power. And they take like Red Faction, the first one, which was really good, but like they were able to do that I think because like their surrounding. It was an open world game. It was one of the first cool open world games. And like everywhere around was really cool, but it was really just Martian red barren terrain. So I think that's kind of one of my theories for why they were able to get the structures and break them down. And the game was able to run without,
right, because it's like the only thing.
And there wasn't like a jungle or a forest or other buildings around. It was like small settlements and then like barren Martian terrain in every direction between them.
There's some like interesting VR games that they're doing. Like a lot of them have like, pretty poor graphics.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when you're like in the AR, the graphics almost seem like better. If you watch like a video of them like later on a screen, they look like shit. But like because it's such a high frame rate, I feel like your brain almost like intuits like the image a bit more.
Yeah. Right.
It's really interesting being in AR. What was it? Not AR. Is it AR?
Well, there's augmented reality and there's a virtual reality, and they're VR. Actually different, but they're part of the same kind of category of technology.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of taking a backseat and letting this technology develop a little bit more.
Yeah, it needs to like kind of like incubate a little more.
Yeah, I definitely played around with it with the I forgot what that one was called. The one I had.
The Oculus One?
No, it wasn't an Oculus. It was the other type of VR headset.
Yeah, is a Hive or something? I don't know.
HTC. Yeah, it's like something with an H. Yeah. It's a V of the Vive. I think.
Oh, Vive, yeah. I remember that.
So yeah, we had one, or I still have it. If anyone wants to buy it for me, like let me hit him up.
Yeah,
like,
hit him up.
Like lickety split.
Right.
I just haven't gone to the trouble of listing on eBay because I don't know like all the specs. And I bet whenever I list any kind of technology on eBay, everyone's like got a million questions and they don't buy it. I'm like, just
look up the model number.
Just look it up. Yeah. Like don't ask me like, well, does it have this port and does it have this port? I'm just like, dude, bro.
Yeah. Just buy it
as is.
Yeah, just buy it.
But you got to be cordial and nice to these people.
Yeah, for sure. You got to have good customer service.
Yeah. You got to make sure you're lickety split. I always get the packages out the same day or the next day.
Nice.
Or at least I try to.
Yeah.
I feel bad if it takes longer than that. But I'm gonna sell that thing, and eventually maybe I'll if Zuckerberg finally starts handing them out for free.
He will. Yeah, he'll get desperate enough.
He's really invested in getting
like he's really bleeding a lot of like money. Money he could be investing in like poverty reduction programs or like just anything.
They do stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely contribute a lot to other causes, situations. Zuck's just kind of a funny character, just to watch him interact with like human beings is pretty.
There's a lot of question into whether or not he really is a human being or not.
Yeah.
And he completed the
No, he's definitely real. He's just like a nerdy guy,
Yeah, for sure.
Like when it's just funny to me, like the most like billionaire rich people in the world, a lot of times they're just like dorky guys like Elon Musk or like Zuckerberg.
Right.
Like they're not like how in movies they're portrayed as like Peter Wayland or whatever.
Yeah.
They're more
they're very quirky.
They've got quirks and like they're more realistic, I guess.
You think all that stuff's simulated, what we see in the videos and the images, or do you think it's like genuine them?
What do you mean?
Like, are they faking it? Are they faking every moment they're on a camera or on a screen? Are they in a character?
No, they're real.
Yeah. I would like to think so too.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not, I'd be pretty surprised.
I definitely get more of a realness vibe from Elon than I do from Zuckerberg.
Do you mean are they like artificially simulated by like
a
computer?
No. I mean, like, are they putting on a facade?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was stuck in the VR talk for a second. No, are they just kind of acting or pretending?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all
putting on a persona.
We all act and pretend in a certain way, right? Like we have to like put on an appearance for the outside world. And
but is it like so far beyond like their actual like
right? Like do they turn around like classically in a movie and then like
like they're a different person almost.
Say a bunch of shit under their breath to their assistant about how they're murdering some guy or whatever. But then, you always see in the movies the politicians go up on stage or whatever and they're like really well liked. But it's like I'm watching like The Boys. Have you seen that show?
Yeah.
Where Homelander is just like publicly he wants to be perceived as this like really cool like Superman hero figure.
Right.
But privately he's like really petty and like murderer and like, just like cruel and mean.
Right.
So it's the
there's always another side of the coin
dichotomy, but I feel like they're pretty real. I mean, there's no need for them to be fake, really. Like they're
right. Like what would they be getting out of it?
Unless like Jeff Bezos is running some sort of like side hustle that's making him a ton of money. There's no real reason to be like deceptive.
Right.
He may be, but it seems like he's doing pretty well with just Amazon on its own.
Oh
already. Like he doesn't need to do anything illegal or illicit to like make money,
Right. And he really can do like really anything he wants, with that amount of power that the wealth and influence buys.
He's been investing a lot in Blue Origin and he's invested other things.
He's invested $1 billion a year in Blue Origin every year since 3, I believe.
It's pretty sick. Yeah, I like the name of the company. It's pretty cool.
Because it actually comes from Carl Sagan's book, A Pale Blue Dot.
Oh, cool.
Carl Sagan was an astronomer. He's a famous scientist and astronomer. And there's a famous, almost poetic paragraph in the book that a lot of people remember as he described when the Apollo astronauts first saw our Earth from the moon. It was a pale blue dot.
Right.
You know, and the name for Blue Origin comes from, it has inspiration from that. Because, you know, the Earth is blue, it's all water, 75% or more, and it's, you know, our origin point as a human species.
Yeah, we're gonna live in the stars one day.
I think so too.
I don't think it'll be that long either. I think in the next
100 years.
Yeah.
Next century we'll literally be on Mars.
We probably won't see a lot of the best stuff, but we'll still see like kind of the beginning of it. I mean, we are seeing the beginning of it.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, we only first went and landed on the moon in the 60s. So
I know. I mean, we've had the technology to like land, you know, on the moon and further for many years. I just think like there hasn't been a lot of public and political will behind it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's very fruitful, you know, in the short term.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like how a lot of people think, and
yeah,
I've been trying to think more long term myself. Cause
yeah,
I've noticed that in my own life. Like throughout most of my life, I never really thought in the long term, and I think now that I have a kid, it's starting to make me like reassess things and
that's good.
Plan for the future better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and
that's
like
great.
As just assuming that I'm gonna be where I'm at or more so in 5 years, 10 years from now, and kind of making moves to like set yourself up for success.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Instead of just living every day, like, you know, day by day, like so vicariously.
Yeah, I definitely can relate to that. You know, we get stuck sometimes like living day by day and just kind of trying to, you know, live and take care of ourselves and the people we love. But, you know, you know, I often fall short of like planning for the long term, and that can be challenging, but it's really important.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can definitely have success doing it the other way. But why not do both, you know? Why not take advantage of every opportunity and set yourself up for success later on. Yeah. And like starting projects, you know, that I think have no end in sight or no clear end, as long as you chip away at it, you know, it's brick by brick. Like the pyramids weren't built in a day. Yeah, right. You know, it took a long time and a lot of planning.
Yeah, right. Incredible.
So like, at some point, you just have to get started, and you just can't worry about.
I always believe in that too. Like there's no, you know, for anything in life really, whether it's like going up and telling somebody that you love them, or like starting a project that you've been passionate about your whole life. Like there will never be a good time to start, you know, and there's not like a perfect time to like begin, you know, you just have to start, and you have to like you said, chip away at it, you know.
Did you get started on that Lego set that
I actually haven't yet. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's still in my closet.
Which one was that?
I was supplied with the Legos Stark Tower set. That's the full one. Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be a good build. That's going to be a good one. Yeah. I've been looking forward to it.
We could buy a couple more if we really wanted to and add on to it, make it a little thicker of a tower.
Yeah.
Make it a thick boy.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to, the next Lego video I do, I want the Gotham buildings to be like super tall. Like really impressively tall, because all the modular buildings are about like yay high, right? Typically, what you see. But I want these buildings to be like triple that or more. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, one movie that I think like it's really good. Crazy, the scale is like Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
Like the scale of the buildings in that movie is like almost incomprehensible.
I know.
Like Wallace Corp is like probably 300 hectares by 300 hectares of acres. You know, like
yeah, it's massive.
And how tall it is, it's probably like 15 Eiffel Tower stacked on top of each other.
Of a small city, basically, just one building.
And it's like incredible, you know. And yeah, it would definitely be awesome to see some larger structures in the Gotham videos for sure.
Mega City 1.
Yeah.
Inside the walls of the
he starts to stutter and get like tripped up. Yeah.
Beyond the walls of the decayed city lies a wasteland. 200 trillion people living in the decaying, rotten wasteland of the
200 trillion?
Yeah.
I realize how much that is. Oh my God.
200 trillion people just going by every day.
Yeah.
Trying to live. The only thing that keeps order in the chaos.
Yeah.
I'm almost turning into like a Batman here.
It is the judges, juries, and executioners that keep order.
Come on, rookie.
Yeah.
The sentence is death. 60 years in ISO cubes. Your crime is the attempted murder of a judge.
There are over 17,000 crimes reported every second.
You realize how overwhelming that is?
We can attend to about 1 point.
Yeah, we can respond to like 0.6% of them.
We can respond to 0.0000007% of that.
I feel like that concept was really cool. They like the Dread concept.
Oh yeah, it's sick.
It's such a cool universe for sci-fi.
Yeah, I think so too. I love that aesthetic. Ideally, like Brickworld really inspired me because I went there and like saw all these like awesome builds and like there's no reason I can't do this shit.
Oh yeah, man. You got all the materials. And
I got all the materials. I got the space. Just got to finish out this stupid Star Wars video. All the space will be freed up if this fucking video is ever finished. But I've literally been working on this for 3 years and it's taking up all this space in my room.
It's gonna be finished soon, dude.
This could be my mock corner. I could have a giant like apocalypse city.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That's something you never really see in Lego.
Yeah,
all
dude.
These Lego people who make these mocks, it's always like perfect, you know, like this thriving city. And I've seen individual people make buildings and mocks as like apocalypse or whatever. Those are always really cool. But I've never seen anyone who built an entire city.
Yeah, like the raccoon chick. Who had the Raccoon City.
Yeah, the Raccoon City.
She did a really good job, but that wasn't like, it was like really big, but it wasn't quite like a full scale city.
What I would do would probably be like one half of the city would just be completely abandoned and like there'd be grass and like roots growing up and like no one's
that's cool to make it feel like
for a long time. And then the other part of the city after like a wall, maybe part of it's been walled off because that area like got affected by a virus or something.
Yeah.
On the other side is like a cyberpunk like neon city that's like really trashy too.
That would be literally
with
cool.
Like grease everywhere and like grime, but it's like neon signs.
Yeah,
and,
almost like a Blade Runner vibe.
Yeah, like Blade Runner, basically.
Like a pseudo multicultural.
I kind of did a similar thing for my Mandalorian video.
Yeah, that definitely had a vibe like that.
Yeah, where it's like
it was like a Star Wars vibe, but it was like a.
That's what I want Star Wars to do. I want them to like do like really cool stuff like that, but like they're so like concerned with being like family friendly and like so Disney. Like all their production value looks so cheap.
Yeah, they really need to transcend like their previous.
They need to like approach it as like more of like an art form and less of
they
like
need to stop caring
business.
about like exactly.
Like they shoot him like the
Lucasfilm was bought by Disney, right?
Yeah, so like Disney has produced some really classy pieces with like a lot of passion behind them, but something about their recent Star Wars stuff, like the outputs just makes the whole production look really cheap. I don't know if you saw the new Obi-Wan show.
No, I haven't seen it
but
yet.
There's a part where he goes to a city like that.
Coruscant?
It's not Coruscant, I don't think. It's some other city planet.
Yeah.
And it's like neon and it's dirty and gross, but it's just like you can tell it's a set.
Yeah, you get the feel.
It doesn't feel like Blade Runner. Like when you watch Blade Runner, like there's a really lived-in. Like, like claustrophobic.
They spared no expense.
Grainy kind of feel, and the sets and the characters aren't.
Yeah, it feels very real. That's
it just
they got right
like
about it.
In the Obi-Wan show, like when they passed by like aliens who were like bartering with each other and stuff. Like they just seem like actors, like like performing like this like scene. It's like almost the whole thing looks like a cosplay convention.
Damn,
and you kind of. I think it's like overdoing it or underdoing it in certain aspects and overdoing it in other aspects. But I would love to have like just a standing city.
Sounds like they should get you as a consultant on set.
I know, yeah. The thing
I'm sure you'd enjoy that.
I don't even want to work in Hollywood anymore.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could work remote and you could be like a robot on set, like remote controlled. Like
if I could VR in from
you could use your
studio
Oculus to like VR in
and just consult.
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing is, if you want something done, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because like you can consult all day, and I'm sure they've had lots of smart people working on the project. But at the end of the day, the decision making, it comes down to like the showrunner and the director and the writer.
Like 3 or 4 main people.
Like there's like a crew at the top.
Yeah.
Who are like the main creative leads.
Trickle down
project
film decision.
Yeah, and those people are making bad decisions basically.
Yeah, they're making like poor creative decisions.
And they get praised for it. That's the problem. Like people don't notice or don't care about these types of issues, and those people, I feel like, number one, they want to be positive. Who doesn't want to be positive, right? It's good to feel positive, but also they don't have like long-term like creative thinking. They don't have the imagination to be like, oh, this could be better. They kind of just accept what's given to them, and it's like if they saw what it could be, then it would be so much easier for them to like be sparked to that imagination. But getting there initially in your own head is like, I think, the hurdle a lot of people.
Right, making that mental leap from being like, oh, this is the standard practice of how we do like Star Wars, to like, we're going to do something totally different and see if it works and see if people like it.
Yeah, just like that applies to just literally anything. It's like just like use your imagination to see like where the problems are in this like system.
I agree.
Fix it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just wish they had different people running it. Because a lot of people like commented on the Mandalorian video. Like I got this comment a lot. They're like, "This is better than the actual show."
Yeah,
and
because you have like more creative passion.
What we want Star Wars to be.
Yeah,
and it's like, damn, yeah, like
right.
That somebody
needs to read that comment that like works at the highest level on the Mandalorian set and be like, and
that's why I'm just like, I don't trust Hollywood anymore. Like, they're not going to do the right thing.
Hollywood, yeah.
So like, you just have to do your own thing. You have to create your own product.
Yeah, there's a lot of other. I feel like Hollywood is kind of on its way out in a lot of ways and has been for many years. And there's like a lot of other creative areas that are popping up around the United States, like the new like formative central locations for creative arts and technological incubation. You know, these places are like Atlanta. Arizona, like they're building a huge semiconductor factory in Arizona right now.
They're building a Lego factory in Virginia.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's the first U.S.
keep that shit in
U.S.
based
Lego factory,
and don't outsource it to the Chinese so they can fucking breathe down our necks about our debt to them later.
We're gonna literally go to the Lego factory construction site while no one's there, and we'll sneak in at the dead of night while they're like they're not working on it that day,
right?
And we're going to bury ourselves in the construction with sledgehammers. So when they're finished with the whole factory, we can break out and steal all the Lego.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's the heist of the century. No one ever thought about it. Like, how'd they get in here? They've been here for months. Living in the walls.
That's like the only way. Like, nobody could figure it out because it's like so out of the box.
Yeah, it's like an Ocean's movie.
It's like Ocean 17. They even got George Clooney to like help us out. Yeah.
There's like 17 Lego trucks, like all being driven like by Jabu and Mason. Yeah. Like all our friends, we basically got into this, and like they're like the big 18 yellow 18 wheelers with like the Lego logo on the side.
Oh wow, I haven't seen one of those before.
And it's like, where do we get the trucks? Cut to Jabu, swipe, wish pan over to Jabu, and he fucking buys like 18 18 wheelers that are like white, and then we buy a bunch of paint and like start painting them like the same color and getting like stickers printed. Like, we have to invest a little bit of money in order to. That's how these things always go. On the Ocean's movies. They always spend like $100,000 just figuring out how they're gonna like rob this place.
Initial investment.
Yeah, they really take their crime seriously.
He gets out of prison and he's like has some chick pick him up, and he's like instantly gets on the job. Like, he has in a crisp white shirt, but he just got out of prison.
Yeah, that was awesome.
When he gets all his boys, he like calls up all his boys, and they're all like somehow like they all get on flights and they're in the same location. Suddenly.
He's been planning this in prison for like some time.
Of course, he never loses hope.
What else is he gonna do?
Right.
Bang, dang, dang, dang,
probably got swole while he's in there.
Oh man, that's excellent.
That's good.
Yeah, good turkey jerky here from Costco. Mm-hmm. Definitely would recommend this one.
Shout out to Costco.
The salmon's really good too. If you ever go to Costco, grab the salmon. You won't regret it.
I think Costco is a good model for consumerism. I think it's even better than Walmart. I think Walmart should be like abolished federally, and then like all the liquid earnings just reinvested into like healthcare for like free. Because I think literally everybody who works at Walmart and shops there literally can say like they hate it.
I think every billionaire family in the world should be submitted to a little test at the end of the year. And one of them has to sacrifice themselves for the betterment of mankind.
The sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, so, everyone gathers in town square with our picnic baskets, and the families courted out and brought before us, and they're passed judgment on, sometimes maybe they'll volunteer, kind of like the Hunger Games, where they call the family name
Tribute.
out. So the whole family comes up, and then everyone at the sound of the bell, we unveil our picnic baskets, and there's just a bunch of rocks in there. And we all just start hurling these rocks at this family.
Stoning?
Yeah, we stone them to death until they're
still practiced in some parts in Africa.
There's nothing left. Yeah, and then we divide up their billions to the people. That's communism, baby.
Well, it sounds like really, really good socialism.
Yeah, that's what the Democrats want. They want you to kill families and burn bridges.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're wild out there.
I've become so disillusioned with all the political parties in the United States.
Oh yeah.
I don't really care about like blue or red. I cared about like blue probably like 2 years ago, but
I care about like issues.
Yeah, I care about issues. I don't really care about parties.
I don't care about fucking which club.
Yeah, labels. Yeah. I really care about like progress in like, are we really going to build clean sustainable infrastructure energy? Like, are we truly going to like make reasonable gun laws? Are we going to repeal the ridiculous Supreme Court justices? Like, these are real issues that really matter. It doesn't really matter like what party, makes progress on them, but we know what direction progress is made. Like,
and how about those gas prices, right?
Gas prices are crazy, dude.
Oh my God.
And yeah.
I saw it the other day. It was $37 a gallon.
$37 a gallon. Soon to be.
Literally, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure they're reining in the payday. You know, like those things you put in a coin and like pushes it forward. That's the people like putting in the coins are us at the pump, and the people like pushing it forward like are like the people in the Middle East, the fat cats, you know.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are getting rich off this.
Hella people.
But the thing is, oil is finite. There's only a certain amount left. Bro.
Right. And what's funny
it's
is
gonna get more expensive.
Right.
It's like if Lego just stopped producing Legos.
I know. It's so fun.
Think about
like,
what happened.
Ironic.
They'd be so expensive.
Yeah, they're gonna run out at some point, and when they do, they're gonna. I mean, all these companies globally are all actively engaged and always have been in trying to find new reserves of oil. That's in their interest.
Oh yeah.
But you know, the Earth can only, you know, she can only give us so much of oil, and it's such a low hanging fruit.
Thanks, Mother Earth.
Yeah, she doesn't want us to like. It's just fossilized like remains.
Sir, we discovered an asteroid. It has a massive amount of oil on it.
Right.
Yeah. I think that
asteroid mining.
That would be funny if that could happen. If we could send up people and mine. But the thing is, like,
that'll happen someday with a lot of
the
materials.
thing is, like, we wouldn't need it if we just switched to like other forms of energy.
I know.
But like, it's so hard for these people to do it because that's where all their money is. There's no reason for us to keep doing this.
It's really because
it's just for the economy.
It's very complex. You know, all the variables that play into.
Do you want the economy to crash?
Yeah, and we could talk about each one of them out and talk about each one, but really,
we don't have enough time for that.
We don't have enough time for that. No. We don't even have enough time for that if we create.
We barely have enough time for this episode.
But yeah, I mean, like, clean energy is the way. You know, enough sunlight falls on the Earth every hour to power all the energy needs of all human civilization.
Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
Wow.
Let me say that again because maybe you guys didn't catch it.
Yeah, for those in the back.
Enough. Let me be really specific as well. Enough solar photovoltaic energy falls upon the Earth from the sun, which is 98 million miles away, every single hour. Enough so that amount of energy that fell on the Earth in that 1 hour could power, if there were devices that could capture it and convert it to usable AC, which is possible. We already have it. It's called solar panels. We could power essentially all of human civilization for an entire year in 1 hour. All of our machines, all of our cars, all of our industry, all our houses.
Solar panels that are on people's houses, like, how effective are they at capturing that energy? Like, how much of the energy do they actually capture?
They capture a fair amount. Solar panels, you know, they're really, really good technology. They're really clean. The process of making monocrystalline solar panels, which is the type of panel that you see on most houses that are blue and have like the ridges in, those use a lot of silicone, and they actually waste a lot of silicone in the manufacturing process that doesn't get used and just discarded because of the way they cut them out and stuff.
They can't melt the silicone down and reuse it?
I suppose they have some ways of reusing some of it, but the information in the video that I watched about it a while back said that a lot of the material was wasted in the process.
You ever seen those videos where they like redub how, like, making of videos, or like
oh gosh, I hope not,
like how it's made, that show?
Yeah,
like they like redub it and make it like goofy, like Rick and Morty or something.
Really?
It's pretty funny.
I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, I'll show it to you later. But yeah, what were you saying about the silicone and the solar panels? You
asked, you know, how good they are at converting sunlight.
Yeah, like how much of it do they actually capture?
Yeah. So there's something called a coefficient of efficiency, which is like the unit of measure that solar panels essentially use that can tell somebody like how efficient it is at converting photons into usable energy. And the rate for most consumer grade solar panels,
3%.
What do you say?
3%.
3? No, it's about it's getting to upwards of 30 now, but that's still not very good in my estimation.
Not very good. Yeah.
I mean, it makes enough power to power like a lot of things in a home. Sometimes in some scenarios, it can power even like a small home.
Yeah, but we don't want to miss out on, like, you know, the other, like,
yeah, it needs to be synergized with other sustainable technologies, other energy producing technologies. When you just depend on solar alone, it's not very good, because you can have what's called passive solar, passive photovoltaics, which can are devices that can absorb diffused sunlight, even if it's cloudy outside on cloudy and rainy days, and even when it's dark and it's night, and the sunlight that's reflecting off the moon can even be absorbed by passive photovoltaics. So there's some cutting edge stuff, but the most built out and the most, like, I guess you'd seen technology in the environment is those monocrystalline solar panels that, you know, you see on people's houses that cost around $20,000 or so to put up, give or take for.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's not bad, bro.
And they offset a lot of bills, you know, and they're a lot better for the environment. You know, otherwise, you know, you're just depending on like
That's it. I'm going green this year.
Yeah, right. If you can afford it someday, definitely do it.
Yeah, I just don't own a house yet. Like that's what I'm trying to work on next.
Yeah,
and then I can upgrade it and do all this crazy shit to it. Like
yeah, right. Put panels on the roof and everything.
Yeah, that'd be so sick. But houses cost a lot of money. I don't know if you knew that. I don't know if you looked into the market.
No,
and
I watched the market a bit, and I mean, but about 2 years ago, the average house price in America, I think, was in excess of $250,000. Now it's around, it's getting upwards of $400,000 average house price in the United States.
Yeah, people back in the day, you know, they'd be able to trade like a few goats and a pig. They get like a little crop of land.
Yeah, right.
And then they build their own homestead on it.
Yeah, you just build on it.
When they're in their retirement, you know, they sell it for like $300,000 or whatever.
Yeah, the boomers, dude. I love how the boomers like rein it in right now. Like they like basically like benefited from like all of like the economic like deflation that was existed in their time.
Oh yeah, no, like they didn't even like fight in like the war.
Yeah, and then they want to talk all day about like how it's just a different generation. And they want to talk about how we don't work hard, and you know, like, I did all this for the country, and like you know, not that a lot of them don't, but like what I'm saying is like, boomers are really, a lot of boomers are really like, they just benefited from a scenario in this country that does not exist now, and it hasn't existed since.
Yeah,
I'd say
it was really rough like a while ago.
Yeah.
They had like the Great Depression in the 20s, and then you know. That was followed by World War II, which was really rough, right. But in the 40s, and then like after the war, like America was like super plentiful and like rich, and invested a ton in infrastructure.
Yeah,
and
the highway program, the interstate highway program,
building up our military to become like the greatest superpower.
In the 1940s and 50s, a concatenation of different technologies were invented, like the microwave oven, the refrigerator. They were invented a little bit before, but they became consumer grade like in the 1950s.
Yeah, the United States became like a cultural melting pot of like ideas and innovation.
Yeah,
it's pretty spectacular. It still is. I mean,
yeah, in many ways,
definitely. But
I really want for our country to re-enter into a new like golden age similar to that.
It's just getting hard for like middle class people to like survive and make a living. You know, it becomes really difficult. There's definitely always still innovation. I just think you have to really like stay on top. Like people don't work at the same job their whole lives anymore. Like that's how it used to go down. You get a job, it'd be like a fucking marriage,
right? And
you'd pay off your mortgage and stuff. But like these days, like you kind of have to hustle and like have all these like side things and like.
Yeah, everybody I know has like 3 jobs.
Yeah, right. So
it's obviously like harder to live on average.
Yeah, it's
financially
it's a situation where like people are trying to make the best with what they have. But
and
there were definitely people struggling back then for sure, but they weren't as much like the they were usually like minorities or people who were like underbenefited by society,
right?
Whereas like people with the whole like redlining and everything that went down, like all this crazy jacked up shit went down, like that made white people just like be like way better off and have a better chance at life.
Oh yeah, that shit's still happening right now.
Yeah, it's still happening.
In St. Louis County, recently they just redrew a lot of the districts, and they actually there's a lot.
Oh, did they? Mm-hmm. Wow, they've been talking about that for a long time.
Yeah, they redrew the districts, and there's a lot of cause for concern over it.
What's the?
It could be modern redlining, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah, well, something needs to be done about the districts because the way they're set up in the city is so jacked up.
Oh, there's like 170 districts or more in St. Louis.
It's
Missouri.
There's so many different like police departments and no one like works together, and it's like we need like unification for the city to like thrive.
Absolutely.
Everyone's so separated.
We need more statewide unification.
Yeah, for sure. But I like Oakville. I like this little area that I'm in.
Yeah, I really like Oakville too.
I like your neighborhood's good.
Arnold's nice too. Yeah, for sure.
Seems pretty chill. Like you don't really have any issues or anything, which is good. I like all the locks on your door. You have like 7 locks on your door.
Yeah, I keep it tight.
Yeah, keep it
ever since I got robbed.
Yeah,
you guys.
Yeah,
and I fell in love.
And you gotta protect what you care about.
My girl.
Yeah,
I actually made a makeshift weapon the other night.
Yeah.
I took some type of long tubular object. And,
like a spear?
Yeah, kind of like a spear.
Okay.
And I took like a kitchen knife.
Are you a caveman?
Yeah, I am. I duct taped it around to make like a huge like saber, essentially.
Okay.
And then I had duct taped like a LED flashlight on the end of it as well.
Nice.
So it was like a flashlight knife combo.
Yeah.
On the end of a spear, like a Spartan spear.
Okay.
and then I made like a makeshift handle on the end of the other side of the spear.
Like a zombie poking device?
Yeah, I can like and light somebody up and like stab them, like if I need to. I don't have a gun or like, anything. I have like really basic.
Maybe you should buy a gun. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I would definitely. I would have already bought a gun. I need to fucking.
They're not that expensive.
Yeah, I need to get. I've been working on getting a job, and I need to get a job and need to save up for a gun.
It's not a super important expense. Like
no, but I definitely
until it is,
Oh yeah, until it is.
Right.
And all the chicks, not chicks, but people in general, but a lot of women in general, I feel like they're like, some chicks are like kind of like I don't know, they're like they're really not about guns. But then, like, when a situation arises where a gun would have, made the difference between life and death for one or more people, then suddenly, it's okay to use guns or...
Right. They want guns and, like, people they deem worthy of having those guns hands.
Yeah.
People who've, like, had training or have been in the military.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of like you can't have people, like, have guns... like who are just in the military, like that's not like useful in an actual like crisis situation.
Right.
The whole point of having a gun as a personal, weapon is so you can defend yourself and your family, and everyone should have that right.
Absolutely.
Like, there's nothing you can tell me that like should tell me that like people shouldn't be able to defend their family.
Yeah.
And I think the trick is just like determining who has that eligibility, because I don't think everyone should be able to have a gun. I think we can all agree that some people shouldn't have a gun.
Right.
So we're taking away their constitutional right there.
Right.
And it's like, how many of those people can there be? How many people legally are we allowed to say they can't have guns? What are the definitions of like what makes someone be in the mental state, the accepted mental state of not being able to purchase a firearm?
Yeah.
These are all, very like complicated questions.
Right.
And I do think there could be like more focus maybe put onto it. I'm sure there's already a lot.
Yeah.
But people say like we need more sensible gun control, and it's like, well, it's already pretty sensible. You know what I mean? Like they talk about like ARs, they don't even know what they're talking about. They're like, we need to ban automatic rifles. Like most of the automatic rifles are banned in like most cases. None of the shootings are done with like automatic, like fully automatic weapons. When they say ARs, that doesn't even stand for automatic rifle. That stands for Armalite rifle.
Right.
It's a different type of distinction.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean what they think it means.
Yeah.
Because most mass shootings are done with either like a pistol or like a semi-automatic rifle, which it looks like it's like an M4 or something,
Yeah.
So
I know the guns that Peyton Gentry used in Buffalo, and what was the other guy? Salvador Rousseau or Ramo.
Yeah.
They both used ARs.
Yeah, and they're not spraying 60 bullets a second into a crowd.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't tell you.
Pop. It's as fast as you can pull the trigger.
I'm not sure.
So some people want to ban like high capacity mags.
Yeah.
Some people think that might help.
Salvador Ramo had a high capacity magazine that he used to kill the children and the teachers with.
But
it
honestly,
was like over a 30
all that
round.
stuff, I think it's just like a drop in the bucket. Like I don't think it's gonna stop deaths.
Yeah.
This is still going to be a problem.
I agree, because
it might slow them down slightly.
Yeah, it's kind of like putting a Band-Aid over a stab wound.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you don't address the like underlying mental health and
the underlying issue is that there's people being created who have this personality where they want to go out and murder people.
Exactly.
People didn't used to do this because
you took the words right out of my mouth.
We had more of a sense of community back in the day. People understood like where they belonged.
Yeah.
Now everyone's so isolated.
These lone wolf shooters are like so isolated, and all they have is like technology and just social media, and all they know is fakeness and evil, and they just get so narcissistic. And I've studied the lives and somewhat of a lot of these shooters, past and present, and there's a lot of similar trends that I draw. It's often somebody who's very isolated. Often the people that are around them in their lives don't pick up on the signs, and they're neglected. They don't have a strong social net or a group, a friend group.
I think it all starts with the public school system.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I think that's the primer.
Salvador
to creating these types of individuals.
Yeah, he was bullied heavily in school. Yeah, and so was Peyton Gentry.
We need a complete overhaul of the way we think about raising our children.
Yeah,
that's the real issue here.
Well, I think we need to have a retreat to like almost like a hybrid state and homeschool method where like the state works with families so that they can homeschool at home.
Exactly.
Something like that, you know, because, just building more schools that look like prisons and spending hundreds of billions of dollars of hard-earned taxpayer money on it.
We're literally imprisoning our children.
Yeah.
We send them to these depressing gray clunkers.
That was some of the worst years of my life that I spent in high school.
Literally. And everyone I talk to agrees.
Yeah.
Nobody
likes high school.
No one likes high school.
Yeah, they're all terrible.
Some people like college, but no one has ever liked their high school. Like I've never heard of that.
Right.
It's because they're fucking underfunded. Like the colleges at least have money.
Yeah.
Because they have those endowments. Fucking rob all their students for thousands of dollars. Yeah. Well, that's a whole other issue though. Mm-hmm. But like in terms of the publicly funded public schools here in the United States.
Yeah, like the one I went to.
Just abolish it. Like that would be, anything is better at this point than what they're doing.
Just close them down and
and send all that money, divert that money to the families who need it.
Yeah, divert it
so they
families.
Can homeschool their kids.
Literally.
So they don't have to work 6 jobs in order to put their kids through life.
Right.
One of the parents can stay home on that income, you know.
And I know
something drastic needs to be done for like real change to take effect, but no one wants to talk about that. Everyone wants to talk about, the guns.
Yeah, the guns aren't the problem. I mean, somebody can invent a device. A gun is really just a piece of technology that is good at killing.
Yeah,
you know? So somebody could invent a device tomorrow that's better at killing than guns. And if it's easy to manufacture and cheap to manufacture, then it'll be the new gun that everybody want their hands on.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make everything legal, you know? Like, obviously, individuals shouldn't own, like, nukes or anything. Yeah. Like, we're not living in a complete...
Well, Kim Jong-un... He has that.
Oh yeah, he's got
that accolade. He's got a couple. He's been working on some ICBMs lately, bro. Have you been hearing about that?
Yeah, I know what I know everything that Kim Jong's doing. I follow him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I make sure I'm up to date.
I love I mean, the technology is really cutting edge. I just hope that the Americans and the North Koreans can somehow find some solace between each other and heal the wounds.
I don't think anyone's ever gonna nuke each other. It just means in total annihilation for you. Like if it's basically like deciding to like kill yourself. If you nuke any other country, you're just gonna get nuked into oblivion.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's kind of this Mexican standoff.
Yeah, right. That's a good
the whole
way
world.
To put it.
Yeah, so
it's such a stupid like technology because it's like everybody's holding each other at gunpoint.
Yeah,
and we spent hundreds of trillions of dollars, think about it globally, over the past century, creating all these bombs and silos and bases.
I mean, it makes sense.
It's literally like
I don't know how a developed species would develop like without that.
In peace?
No, because like gorillas like fight each other, like dolphins like fight each other.
It's ingrained in the
just because you're of one nation or one type of people doesn't mean that you all work together. Like different ant colonies have massive wars all the time. There's wars going on right now we don't even know about.
Yeah.
Between mega colonies of ants.
Right.
That have been being waged for centuries.
Yeah.
And it's completely counterproductive in a certain sense, but in another sense it's making both colonies better. You know, they're both improving. You know, there's a reason to improve.
That's interesting.
Because of the fight.
Yeah.
And it's sad, to see it that way, because it's like what is this all for? Like all these people are just dying just so we can better ourselves as a species. Like that's so fucked up. Like why can't we see past that?
Right.
But I think eventually we'll kind of leave this primitive state and we will see past it. But
I sure hope so.
We're just not in that time period yet.
I hope that's something I've always hoped, like deep in my essence. That long after I'm gone, or long after everyone that I love is gone, like somehow the spirit of the posterity of humanity will like transcend all the war and evil.
There's too many humans on the planet, like
that are good. You think the good will outweigh the bad?
Not good. I'm just saying there's too many humans on the planet. Like life will go on after us for a long time.
Yeah,
we're most likely at the beginning of the human race's life cycle.
I think it's interesting in the Dune universe how it's like 11 million years in the future or so.
Yeah, like that's completely within the means.
Yeah.
And that would still be a blip on the scale of the universe.
I think it's kind of realistic how the Dune the Dune universe like sets out like the future of humanity. It's like in a feudal state where like there are empires and stuff, almost to how like it was in medieval times.
Yeah.
But it's space.
Yeah, the author believed that feudalism was the
dominant
natural
feature,
the natural feature of humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I sometimes I think that's like
he might not be too far from the truth.
Right.
What we're doing right now with democracy and everything is
bad.
It's still an experiment.
Yeah,
we
still
don't know how to make it work.
Right.
Effectively. no one's been able to like find a perfect solution.
Right.
Other than feudalism, and that just gives one person way too much power. And it's not,
right.
There's way too much. If the person running everything was good, that would be the best system. And if we knew they could be good, that would be the best system, because it's one person making decisions. They don't have to ask anyone. They can make immediate decisions to help people. If you got like some really saintly king, I'm sure there have been really great kings in the past.
Yeah.
Then their people will thrive like no other.
And there have been good kings throughout history, and their people did thrive during their periods.
Right, but you can't guarantee that his son's not going to be a little
right, and that did happen through history too. There's been so many.
They go mad with power.
Right.
Yeah.
I can think of a lot of good examples. Like
I think power corrupts people. I think there can be good people,
like the Roman Emperor Caesar.
One to have power and truly not be corrupted, I think, is probably pretty exceptional.
Yeah, actually,
those who wish to lead least should be placed in our as our leaders. I think.
Yeah.
Like we should almost like force like the smart people to lead us.
Yeah.
Like people who don't want to be president should be president. Anyone who wants to be president, they probably shouldn't be president.
Thought. What you said though reminded me of a line from the newest Dune with Timothy Chalamet and Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
When Oscar, the dad, his name's Oscar, the actor, Oscar something. He's
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, Oscar the Grouch. He was talking to his son about power, and he was like, he said something along the lines of, great men do not seek power, they're called to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like always stuck with me, because like it kind of reminds me of like what you said, people like great leaders, they're truly not seeking to lead. They're seeking just to like do their own thing, but they're often called to action.
Yeah.
Right. From a greater, like,
if only there was a way we could guarantee that would be the situation, but human beings are too unpredictable. That's why we have to try these democracy things where we all compromise and, work together to like make decisions. But that comes with a lot of, messiness and trade-offs. Yeah. Where pretty much in a working democracy, no one is happy. Like no one's getting their way completely. Everyone's compromising on every issue.
Right.
It's something where we could all, be like, okay, I'm actually willing to bend here.
Right.
In order to succeed in other places. But so many people are so rigid, they just will not comprehend anything other than absolute victory.
Yeah, right.
It's challenging, because that innate instinct of wanting to dominate is really strong in people.
Yeah.
So until that's overcome, until there's people can like let go of their ego a bit.
Yeah, I agree. The almost like the whole kind of the wholeness of like the human ego is like very big, and it's something that perhaps spiritually, like as a species, we can like overcome someday. I think other if they exist, celestial civilizations perhaps have overcome that barrier if they've survived the Great Filter.
Yeah.
But we're not quite at that point, and I feel like there's a lot of individuals on Earth that are alive right now, that understand these ideas and want them to come to fruition. But we can just try our best every day. That's all we can do.
Yeah, I think it's a waiting game.
Yeah.
We're not in this period of humanity yet.
Yeah.
But it'll get there eventually. We'll probably be like way after we're gone. But it's a point where there's no more pain, or there's very little pain, and no more distraction, to a point where people can develop their egos and develop their minds in a way that allows for peace. Because so many people are, even if they're like taken care of financially, like they've got everything physically they need to survive, they're relatively safe, they can still be like mentally scarred, and that can progress a person down a bad path.
Absolutely.
And like I think as societies in various countries around the world become first world countries and become more developed, there will be more peace, and there will be more acceptance.
Yeah, just totally.
When you're struggling to feed yourself or your family, there's not much time to do like metaphysical pondering.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're worrying about base necessities like food and water and shelter.
Yeah.
And like I know like a lot of people that live in like rural Africa and other places. On a side note, the whole continent of Africa is undergoing desertification because of climate change right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's moving further in and degreening all the land, which is a huge problem and causing people to go into poverty faster and causing more food insecurity. But it's already,
people need to get the fuck out of there.
I know. Yeah.
Like, it sucks that like they probably can't because they don't have enough money. But like anyone who's like living there should and can leave should like.
I know. It's like the people in Odessa right now in Ukraine. Like a lot of them are trying to figure out if they want to leave. And it's like,
yeah, and it's like the whole thing with like countries is so retarded too, right? Because like we should all just like let each other be one big country, you know?
Right.
That would make the most sense.
One family, big family.
Yeah, but I think that'll eventually happen too. I think there might have to be like more wars before then. I don't know.
Well,
hopefully not.
Yeah, I know in my heart that there will be more wars, more big wars.
Yeah.
You know,
it seems inevitable.
It does, but I don't think it'll wipe out humanity.
I don't think it'll wipe out humanity either.
I think humanity will survive.
And I think eventually we'll get to a place where, like, if, say, certain people in a certain country or territory, their land is uninhabitable, they can just move to another area, you know, further down or to the side or whatever. And the countries wouldn't make a big fuss about it because there wouldn't be any countries. Like, there could be, like, territories.
Yeah.
But there should be, like, communication in one central unified government to do everything for everyone, so that way, you know, they can make those kinds of... I mean, there is, you know, to an extent, like the UN and stuff. Like, there's definitely lots of effort put in communication between countries.
I think the UN is a precursor. I mean, before the UN, there was the League of Nations.
Yeah, right.
And then...
Before that, there was, like, nothing.
There was nothing.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think the UN is going to, like, probably evolve into some even more powerful global organization, you know?
Yeah, I just don't think really, like
the UNSC and the Halo universe.
The UN no one really actually listens to the UN. Like, they don't really have...
Yeah.
It's not like one... It's just a bunch of governments together, like, talking, but it doesn't mean
I agree.
Guarantee anything.
You know what would be really cool if the UN actually had? Remember in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 with Frank Underwood and the campaign?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Remember he has the PMC, the private military contractor group called Atlas, and it's like a military for hire. It would be great if UN actually had like a substantial, like forceful military
private
that they could send in to somewhere like Ukraine, for example. Like when Putin first invaded, let's say that the UN had a force of 10 million super advanced combat troops that they could just send right in, like as attack unit.
Well, the trick is like they would have to be Ukrainian, right?
Not necessarily. They just represent the UN, which is like a bunch of countries. You know?
Right.
The UN is not that like you're representing, like, you know, tens and tens of countries when you're like a UN soldier.
Well, the thing is, like, the U.S. and England and all these other countries, all these really powerful countries, they have this like pact or this agreement. I forgot what it's called, but they were trying to get
NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Agreement.
I think it's NATO.
Treaty organization.
It's some organization. It might be NATO. I just don't want to say the wrong thing on the podcast and get it wrong. Hey guys, just wanted to let you know that this conversation continues on in the Patreon episode, so that's why it ends so abruptly. We just kind of recorded for 2 hours straight and didn't break like we usually do. I'm throwing off my rhythm this week because Mason's been so busy. He's been unable to commit to the podcast, but looks like we're going to get him back next week. We'll see, though. You might want to go harass him on Instagram. Let him know you care.